Hi, this is Trey Pass. I'm going to do a review of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, the sequel to the Black Panther movie. And up front, I should tell you, I was one of those people that definitely said recast T'Challa. I just felt that the character of T'Challa was too important a character to kill off, even though, he died in real life. Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace, died in real life. I thought the character of T'Challa was just so an important character in the MCU that he should have just been recast. I know that was hard, and I know the people that created and Ryan Coogler and probably people from Disney probably felt uneasy about recasting it and stuff. But I thought they definitely should have recast the part, because I thought the character was too important to going forward in the MCU. And I even remember that What If episode with him when What If he was T'Challa was like Star-Lord, and I think that was kind of the last thing that Chadwick Boseman did, and it was just so good. And I just loved that iteration of that, and I just loved the character of T'Challa and what Chadwick Boseman did with it. I just wanted the legacy to continue on, but they did what they did, and like I said, this review is going to have spoilers in it. So, of course, in the beginning of the movie, they tell you that he's dying, and you see Shuri, she's in her lab trying to come up with a cure and all that stuff. But by the time she turns around, her mother's there saying he passed on, and they have the funeral and stuff. But I like the opening of it. They open up the movie with the, how they do the Marvel logo of all the movies and stuff. This time they muted the music and had just clips of Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther and stuff. And it really that was really a nice, that part got to me. And then also the funeral and stuff when you see them, the mom and the daughter together, and, they're crying. And then there's a part towards the end of the movie when she's on the beach, Shuri's on the beach, and it's just another moment. She's thinking about about T'Challa, and that got to me too. There was a lot, so this movie definitely had its emotions. And basically this movie is about, the passing of T'Challa, and also about, the outside world trying to come in to get their resources, specifically vibranium, from Wakanda. And then there's there's even a great opening scene where she goes, you see her after the funeral, she goes, the queen, Angela Bassett's Ramonda, she goes to to the UN part, or whatever they call it in that universe, to, saying that, about what, all the sacrifices that are, that she's made, and the, her husband, now her son, and, just like you see in the commercial. And then you see at the same time, you also see somebody, going to one of these outreach centers for Wakanda, and they're attacking it, and they, they're looking for vibranium. And by the time they open up the vault where the vibranium is supposed to be, you see the warriors there, just obliterate all the mercenaries, and then you see them marching in to the UN. They bring them in to the UN, and saying that if you ever try this again, basically don't try this S again. And then later we see another research vessel saying that they found vibranium at the bottom of an ocean and stuff. And then all of a sudden the people start getting attacked. And then you see these blue people attack this research boat and stuff. And then you see a flying guy with, which obviously is Namor, catches the helicopter, and that's the end of that. So that's our introduction to Namor in this, and they make the character, I guess, I don't want to I guess more, what is it? They made him they changed him to Latin descent. I forgot, and I apologize for not, I had it in my brain before, but I can't remember it now. They just changed his origin slightly, and they give you a little backstory of, a little, he's when he's telling Shuri the story of his people and stuff, and how he came to be and all that stuff. And basically they want Wakanda's help to get the scientists who came up with a device that they could detect where the vibranium was. And of course they didn't want to have nothing to do with it. But of course Namor and his people weren't having it, okay? And they even they attack Wakanda. In a great sequence, they attack Wakanda, and you see them, and he tells them, listen, if you don't come, join with us, I'm gonna come back and destroy Wakanda. Uh, and again, what I liked about this movie, okay, there was, again, because I had my reservations about them not recasting T'Challa, but they did that with dignity in the beginning of the movie and stuff, and they moved on with the plot, so that wasn't that bad. And I wasn't bored throughout the movie and stuff, which I thought this movie is like 2 hours and like 50 minutes, probably with credits and others, probably almost 3 hours and stuff. And I thought they did a good job with it. Again, Letitia Wright, I guess that's her name, right? Latia Wright, excuse me, who plays Shuri. I thought she did a really good job because she's kind of the heart of the movie and stuff because, she's grieving her brother. And like I said, this movie has spoilers. And then at another point, her mother dies saving the scientist who we, find out is what's her name? Is Riri Williams, who's the, I guess the young female Iron Man. I don't know if she's a young Avenger or not, but she's the one that, the scientist that came up with the way to detect the vibranium and stuff. And so that's who Namor and them want to, to basically, so that way they don't, the mankind can't come searching and discover their hidden underwater kingdom and stuff. And like I said, I like the story. Again, like I said, I think, again, Shuri was the heart of the movie and stuff. And, her grieving her brother. Then at another point, her mother dies, saving, after Wakanda's attack, and water spills in, and she actually saves this Riri Williams. She dives down there to save her, but she winds up drowning and stuff. And then so Shuri has to deal with that as well, the death of her mother, and also trying to rally the people to see what they're going to do next, because like I said, she's the only one left now from that family, and she's grieving, and she comes up with a way to recreate the plant that Killmonger destroyed in the last movie. She comes up with a way to artificially create it, and she takes it. And there's a great sequence where she takes it and she, goes back into like a dream state, and she sees, and you think she's gonna see her mom. That's where I thought she was gonna see her mom, or maybe T'Challa in like a flashback or something. But what you actually sees is Killmonger, and Killmonger is telling her, listen, you don't want to be like your mom, you don't want to be like your brother, all noble, all that stuff. You want revenge like me. That's why you're seeing me, in your dream state. You want revenge against these people, Namor and his people for what they did, taking your mom right after you lost your brother. You want revenge, okay? That's why you're seeing me. I thought that was really a nice sequence with Michael B. Williams, Michael B. Jordan, excuse me, Michael B. Williams, Michael B. Jordan. I thought that was a nice, intense moment. And then when she wakes up and you see that she does have the strength, because she basically throws some armor. She like throws it really hard against the thing, and Riri Williams was there saying, "I want some of that," whatever that is. I thought that was funny. And another person I thought who was really good in this movie was Lupita Nyong'o, who plays Nakia, T'Challa's, love. At the, they have the funeral. She doesn't come for the funeral, and then there's the moment when his and I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm jumping all over the place. There's a moment in the beginning when she sent the queen sends her Danny Guerrero Okea out to to get that scientist who created that device and bring her here to Wakanda, because so it'll be safe, and Sherry basically talks them into allowing her to go, and the queen tells have her promise that she'll take care of her daughter, make sure nothing happens to her. And of course, the Atlanteans, I guess I'm going to call them Atlanteans, even though they're not called that in this movie. Namor's people, they attack them on the bridge, and there's a great sequence on the bridge where they're fighting and stuff. And basically, she gets kidnapped. Her and the scientist gets kidnapped and brought back to Namor's place, and she has to go back. Okay, I has to go back to Queen and and tell her, I regret, that I couldn't save the princess, and let me go get and there's a really intense scene between the Queen and where they just and she basically just she hands in her spear, she resigns and walks off. And I thought that was really a really intense moment, because she told her, I told you to protect the princess, and now you go. I was just, Angela Bassett was just, I felt that. I felt that, and I felt it from Danny Guerrero as when she, you could tell that she was she was so hurt that she let her queen down. I thought that was really good, really intense. That was a really good emotional moment too, right there. And then there's some funny moments. I like Winston Duke as Mabaka. He had some great lines in this. Calling what's called the fish people and stuff. Namor and his people the fish people and stuff. And he was hilarious in this and really intense. And you see at the end of the movie, after everything's over, although I'm going to jump back to the end sequence, he actually challenges to be the Black Panther. He wants to be the Black Panther. So we'll see how the next movie goes. He actually challenges, even though Shuri is currently the Black Panther. But let me go back to Lupita Nyong'o as Nakia. Like, she didn't show up at the funeral, and because her daughter, the Queen's daughter, got kidnapped. Shuri's got kidnapped. She goes to her, who she's teaching in Haiti. She's teaching a school, and she goes to her and said, "I need your skills to you were like a real secret agent. I need your skills to help rescue my daughter from these people." And she goes and does that. And I thought for a moment that she was going to be the Black Panther, because Lupita Nyong'o, I thought she was going to be the new Black Panther, but it turned out to be Shuri, just like in the comics. But because I thought she was good, and then there's the Shuri, after she comes up with that plan, to get the the power of the Black Panther and stuff, and she wants to, and she actually goes to the council. They're still arguing about what's the best way to respond back to Namor and his people, and she shows up in the Black Panther armor, and that's when she says, "Let me talk to Mabuka by himself." And she just tells him, "Listen, I'm gonna, and this is after she's had that dream sequence where she talked to Killmonger, and he told her that you see in me because you want revenge, you don't want justice and all that stuff, and to be honorable, you want revenge." And she tells Mabaka, "Listen," because Mabaka is kind of hesitant to, because to engage them in a fight, and she says, "Listen, you're gonna do this, okay? There's no question about it. This is happening, okay? Whether you like it or not." I thought that scene was nice and intense. She basically is telling them, "Listen, this is gonna happen. I want my revenge," and she comes up with this plan to attack them, and she also comes up with a way that the Drain. She realizes the strength of his Namor because he's different from the other people. That he can breathe out of water and all that stuff, and she comes out with a plan to get him to an island, a desert island, and drain all the moisture from him, and that way he'll be weakened. And they have an intense fight on that island between her and him. And I thought for a minute then, because she got stabbed with a spear right through the gut, and I said, "Oh boy, is she gonna die too?" I said, "Oh man," that for a minute, but then I said she broke that spear, and then she pulled herself off of the rest of the spear. I said, "Oh, that was just intense." And then she fried his back, and he was done for. And she could have killed him. She had that spear, and she could have killed him. She could have got that revenge just like Killmonger, but she stopped herself and she said, "No, I'm not going to do that." And so she is more like her brother and her mother too. So she stopped herself from getting revenge, and she goes back. She brings Namor back, and Namor calls his people off, and they go back, and then they go back to their undersea world and stuff. And later you see in the world that one of the people, I think it's what's her name, Namora. She tells him, why did you stop? Why did you call us back?" And he was saying, "Listen, Wakanda is isolated, okay, and they're gonna need us, okay. When the outside world comes at them, they're gonna need us, okay." So he's basically saying, telling her, "Don't worry about it. We got it, because they're gonna come to us, because they're gonna need us in the future," which I thought was smart thinking. He's thinking like a leader, that that they're gonna need it. They may have won for the moment, but they're gonna need us in the future, and then we'll have all the bargaining chips right there, because they're gonna need us in the future. And I thought that was really smart of him. Okay, and I would like to see him. Tanek Hirata, right? He played Namor. I would like to see him, I wouldn't mind if he gets his own movie and stuff or something, or maybe even a Disney Plus show and stuff, because, we saw the glimpses of their world and stuff, and I liked that little bit when he took her on a tour of their world and stuff. I thought that was really nice, but I would have liked to explore more, and I wouldn't mind if they did like maybe a 6-episode series on Namor and his people and stuff. I think that would be cool to see that. I wouldn't mind that, or not, or you know, somehow Namor is always associated sometimes with the Fantastic Four too. So any way they do it, I would be happy to see it. And again, I thought the actor did a good job as Namor in this. And the part I again really like, why I like Lupita Nyong'o's character, because towards the after credit scene, when the credits are rolling, mid credit scene, I guess, where where Shuri goes to see her in the school, and and they're on the beach, and that's when she's reminiscing about her brother, the T'Challa, and she's crying and stuff, and that got to me too. And then you see her come down, Nakia comes down with a young boy, and she says, "This is your nephew." And I forgot his Haitian name, what she called him. And then she said his also name, this is T'Challa as well. Okay. And she tells him that, T'Challa knew about him, about his son, but they wanted him to be raised away from Wakanda and stuff. They didn't want that pressure of being, the son of the heir on him. That's why, and that's why she didn't show up to the funeral as well. So I thought that was nice. And she got to meet, and know that a part of her brother is living on, that he has a son. I thought that was really nice. That was a really good moment for her to. So now we know there's another T'Challa, and so they kind of recasted him without recasting him in a way, because eventually I think the character will. I don't know. They'll have that if they'll age him up, which I think they probably will. They'll probably age the character up eventually, so he'll be the new Black Panther. I think Shuri will be probably Black Panther in another Black Panther movie, probably the third one, and then maybe after that they're gonna age his son up and stuff, and then I think he's going to be Black Panther going forward, and then they'll be like, T'Challa, maybe he'll be in the Young Avengers or something, but I think that's how that's going to happen. Okay, with that. But overall, I thought this was a decent movie. Like I said, the first movie I loved. Okay, the first Black Panther movie I absolutely loved, and I think this movie is a little bit less than that overall, but it's still an enjoyable movie, and I would give Black Panther Forever, Wakanda, I would give it a 7.5. Okay, there was some great emotional moments in this movie, and some good action, and Namor was a good nemesis, and some intense action sequence and great emotional moments in this movie. But not having Black Panther in this movie, although Shuri was a Black Panther, but not towards the end, that knocked some points off of it for me. I just again, like I said, I still think they should have recasted the part. That's just me, and I like they did what they did. I guess I kind of work around to get T'Challa still in the universe, but just be his son. I guess that's their workaround around that, by not recasting it with another actor. But I still think they should have did it, just because I think the Black Panther is too important a character. And so, like I said, but because I saw Grace Randolph Beyond the Trail, what she said about what's going to happen going forward. And I definitely think they're going to age the kid up. Okay, so maybe the Black Panther 3 is going to take place maybe not 10 years in the future, maybe 10 years in the future, who knows? Because the kid looked about 12 or something like that. So I think he looked about 12, right? Something like that, 10 or 12 or something like that. So maybe the next movie, they'll just age it up. And then that way, Shuri will be Black Panther. And then after that, at the end of that movie, maybe her nephew, she'll give him the mantle, say, here, you can, be the rightful heir here. And something like that will happen. So I can see that happening. Okay? But overall, again, I'm going to give it a 7.5. Again, some good emotional moments in this movie. Again, I knocked some points off of it for not having the Black Panther be not recasting it. Okay? That's just my personal opinion about that. And I think this is the other movie. It was just the first, and it was just so good. Okay, Chadwick Boseman, and I liked his interaction with all the women in his life. I just thought that just took the movie to another height. Okay, but this movie was definitely enjoyable, and I definitely recommend you go see this movie. Okay, it was, like I said, it's almost 3 hours, but it's not boring. It's not distracting, not slow to me. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay, and as for those people that I know there was a TikToker or some black girl, a TikToker that said no white people should go see it the first week. That's just BS. I don't even know why anybody gave it any credibility, except these the woke police, who always looking for anything to whine about. I think they were the only people that paid any attention to it. Okay, when I went to see Black Panther, first of all, the theater was crowded. Okay, white, black people, everybody, Chinese, everybody was in there. Okay, so I guess everybody didn't get the message not to go. to the theater, okay? Because that movie theater was packed, okay, and with all different kind of races to see that movie, okay? So, exactly. So, don't listen to these idiots who try to tell you that people are getting jumped or something and not letting white people in the theater or anything, or giving them dirty looks or anything. None of that happened, okay? And not in reality, none of that happens. Anyway, let me know what you think of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below. I have links to my social media in the description box, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also have a link to my other channel, Bob Views and Opinions. Please check that out as well. Also have a link down below to my Patreon. I want to say a special thank you to my 2 patrons. Their names will appear in this video somewhere. I want to say thank you for supporting me. I always have my back. And again, my Patreon is only $5 a month. Tons of content on there, tons of unedited content on there. Everything from WandaVision to Loki to Hawkeye to Moon Knight to What If to She-Hulk to The Boys Season 3, Titans, Doom Patrol, Superman and Lois, Stargirl, The Flash Season 8, all 4 parts of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Follow link below to the Patreon. Check it out. Also, give this video a thumbs up. It helps the channel, and I truly appreciate it. Also, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when I upload new content to this channel. And this is Trey Pass. So thanks so long, and take care.